Hey everyone, it's your professional sarcastic man and secret of attention, Chris here. Just here with a little video. That's it, it's a video. But the main topic I want to talk about is one of the many problems with Marvel Comics now. And that's oversaturation. Particularly oversaturation from 2015 onwards. Why 2015 onwards? One part, it's mainly like I started reading Marvel from 2015, so from Secret Wars and All New, All Different. The kind of the some would say, no, 50/50 would say like the dark age of Marvel, where a lot of just the terrible and also SJW stuff started to become more and more more and more noticeable until it just yep, it's there. That's why it's now referred to as SJW Marvel. And that also just ties into my second part. It's just from 2015 onwards, it seems to have been it seems to this oversaturation began near the end of 2015, and it's become more and more noticeable over the years. So, first part I'm going to start with is part 1, character oversaturation, aka the Deadpool effect. Now, I call this the Deadpool effect just because Deadpool is a popular character. However, because of the film, because we've only got really the one, I'm not counting that terrible Deadpool, the original terrible Deadpool, and that X-Men Origins Wolverine. But anyway, so because of that, we have got more Deadpool than people actually care for. As such, a lot of people, most well-known long-time fans, some are just sick of Deadpool now. Like me, for instance, I dropped. As soon as before Legacy, I dropped the series. Before Secret Empire started, I was just so sick of Deadpool at that point. And oops, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's just the overall saturation of Deadpool. He just had to be in everything. And he's not the only one. This has happened to various other characters as well. The most recent one being Venom. Venom is for some reason getting events. Mainly, yeah, just events. Venom is for some reason getting this huge push. Is it because of the upcoming film? Maybe, but Deadpool didn't get this huge kind of push until after a film came out, not before the film came out. Before the film came out, he had his own series, a mini-series, a digital comic, and then he was also in Uncanny Avengers. And then after that, it just boomed. More that have been suffering because of the Deadpool effect are, number one, Captain Marvel. Carol Danvers. Oh no, wait, that's not right. Carl Danvers. Yes, sorry, I had to, I have to get it right. Carl Danvers. Yeah, joking aside. Yeah, Carol Danvers has been a character that has been oversaturated by Marvel because for some reason, they want to make her their main franchise character. Problem is, they have made Carol Danvers not Carol Danvers anymore. She is not the same since she's become Captain Marvel. Anyone I talk to who've been a Carol Danvers fan say that Captain Marvel Carol Danvers is not Carol Danvers. And they just want to put her in everything. But mainly, I'm kind of rambling on, but this part 1 or so, let's see. This part 1 ties into a really big kind of oversaturation. Oversaturation because of the MCU or other Marvel comic films, aka the Deadpool effect Mark II. So, when one of the films in the MCU becomes, well, when it's just released in general, Marvel Comics thinks it's a good idea. Hey, let's make more series based on that character. So, Deadpool being the prime example. After the Deadpool film, there was a huge oversaturation of Deadpool. Like, he had so many unnecessary cameos, miniseries, just any type of series that Deadpool should not have had. And also tying back into why I dropped Deadpool is because of that oversaturation, that he was in too many things because of how popular the film was. Like, I like the film, but I can only handle enough Deadpool. And then this is the same thing with Old Man Logan. Old Man Logan has to be in everything. Like, almost everything X-Men related. Old Man Logan being in the MCU was pointless anyway. It's just like, hey, we killed Wolverine. Wolverine's dead. What's going to happen now? Oh yeah, we're going to replace him with X-23, who's just who's only become more noticeable and popular because of becoming Wolverine, not because of being her own character. And we're going to put Old Man Logan in there as well because we need some way to tie it into the Logan film. And then, like I said before, Venom. Venom has had this huge boost in popularity where he's got the Venomverse, like was it the Venomverse event, had the Poison X crossover with X-Men Blue, and now the Venomized store event as well. It's just like, no one really cares. We don't need it. It's not interesting. Like, I only read Venomverse, which was okay. I didn't read Poison X because that's when I decided to drop X-Men Blue because I was just sick of the time-displaced X-Men. And I'm also, in turn, not going to bother with Venomized. Then we go into our third part. Part 3, event oversaturation. Marvel, there is too many goddamn events. None of them matter. Most of them, almost all of them, are completely terrible. And the fact that you can't even finish events on time make it even worse. So what we had, going into All New, All Different, we had Secret Empire, which didn't finish when it intended to. Halfway through the story, it just threw everyone to random places, and you had to read the tie-ins to understand what happened, which is the equivalent of, this movie will be better if you've read the books as well. You know, the Last Jedi argument of why it's a good story is, if you read all the expanded material, it'll be good. No, if you can't tell the story within the main issues of that story, you are a terrible storyteller. Like, I don't need to do extra homework to understand what the hell is going on in this plot. Tie-ins are there as just extras. They are extra stories of like what's happening with these characters or teams or whatever while the main event is going on. You know, and then because the Captain America Civil War film was coming out, they decided, oh hey, let's do another unnecessary sequel with Civil War 2, and let's just let it be completely horrible and also suffer many delays because Apparently, we only have one writer, and that was Brian Michael Bendis. Civil War was terrible. Civil War was the death of many characters. The literal death of War Machine, of Rhodey. The character assassination deaths of Carol Danvers, She-Hulk, and Tony Stark. That event was pointless. No one needed it. No one wanted it. Then, Secret Empire. The event nobody wanted because it featured one of the worst bastardizations of a character ever, Hydra Cap. And the ending of the event was absolutely terrible. Oh yes, look, we brought back Captain America, who is actually just a physical embodiment of his true history, so he's not actually Captain America. But hey, we're gonna treat him as such. And whoops, oh look, the day is saved, and remember how Nick Spencer said he wasn't going to use the Cosmic Cube to fix anything at all? Well, he used the Cosmic Cube to fix parts of it anyway, so 10 out of 10 for effort. It was an unnecessary event. And then even with Marvel Legacy, where they decided, we're going to treat every series as an event, because yeah, it's not like we already sick of them. I think one of the most pointless events, their first two, events, because they said they weren't going to be doing any events because of, event oversaturation, which was a complete lie. They just replaced it with the word crossover. So, I think at least two of the most pointless crossovers were the X-Men Blue and Gold Mojo story. That was completely pointless. It was a waste of money. Don't know why it exists, because Marvel doesn't know how to write a story anymore. And that Avengers and Champions crossover, the Worlds Collide, where apparently being human is a higher evolutionary standard than being a superpowered robot that can do almost everything. That's, if I remember correctly, that is what happened to Vision's daughter. She she was rapidly evolved into a normal human being. So I don't know how that is a better evolutionary standard than a robot that can hack, fly, shoot laser beams, all other various powers. How being a simple standard human is better than a super kick-ass robot. Pointless. And then the current crossover, Avengers No Surrender. It is 16 parts long. It does not need to be 16 parts long. You could have finished this issue, you could have finished this crossover in about, 7 issues. 5 of them to be filler, 1 of them to be an introduction, 1 of them to be a conclusion. That's it. A typical Marvel event. Sorry, crossover. It's just all these events are just pointless. No one cares, and a lot of them are just, let's just recycle a previous event and make it a story arc, so we can't come up with something new. The Incredible Hulk, the current Incredible Hulk series is the #1 example, because, hey, turns out people don't actually like Amadeus Cho as the Hulk, so let's put him in his own series again and call it The Incredible Hulk, and let's just rehash or do sequels to 2 popular Hulk stories, Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. both of which, the first one, really did not care about. Like, as soon as that story arc was done, I put them all together and I sold them on Facebook. Somebody bought it. So I did not want that story anymore. It was done. World War Hulk, I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'm just going to put it on like Facebook or Gumtree or whatever and sell it because I don't want it in my possession anymore. I'm going to do this with a lot of Marvel Legacy. Like, I'm only going to keep the stuff I actually enjoyed. So, Daredevil, Thanos, Peter Parker, Marvel 2-in-1, Astonishing X-Men, which... Wait, I'll save that topic for a later video. But anyway, so we're going to my final point, which is part 4, relaunch oversaturation. I should put an AKA here. Let's put AKA the we can't whoops. That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. So yeah, let's redo that again. Okay, part 4, relaunch oversaturation, aka the we can't fix shit effect. Essentially, that is what it is. So let's do a comparison between DC and Marvel. Okay, so with DC in 2011, they ended every series and did a line-wide overhaul or relaunch. They did a line-wide relaunch called the New 52. That lasted until May 2016, where they started their next relaunch, DC Rebirth. So you see, from 2011 to 2016, they only had the one relaunch. They did also have something called DCU, but that was not technically a relaunch. It was just a name rebranding, but overall it was still referred to as the New 52. So from 2011 to 2016, you had the New 52, and now currently you have the DC Rebirth or DC Universe. They also changed that name. Okay, let's look at Marvels. So I actually wrote these down. From 2012 now, they've had 7 relaunches. You had Marvel Now, All New Marvel Now, Avengers Now, All New, All Different Marvel, Marvel Now 2.0, or Marvel Now 2016 as it's apparently referred to as, Marvel Legacy, and the so-called Marvel Fresh Start. We can't fix shit. Pretty much. If you have to relaunch so many times, 7 times in 6 years, but 6 to 7 years, you should sit back, have a think to yourself, are we doing something wrong? I think we're doing something wrong. And that is more noticeable now, because you had Secret Empire to start All New, All Different, and then you had 6 months later, wait, let's see, November, December, January, February, March, April, so about 7-8 months later, so roughly about, like, you've 3/4 into this new relaunch, you decide, let's relaunch it again with Civil War 2 to lead up to Marvel Now 2.0. And then another 7 to 8 months later, you decide, okay, look, DC Rebirth actually did something well. Let's copy them. Let's copy them. Come on. What do we call? What event are we gonna? We have to wrap up this god awful Captain America being a freaking Nazi. Sorry, Hydra. That's completely different. Being a Hydra agent. We'll do Secret Empire, and that will go to Marvel Legacy, like our low budget attempt at DC Rebirth. Yeah, that'll work. And there's like, oh whoops, it's like, sorry Axel, you didn't do shit. You can't fix shit. So we'll get CB. Okay, CB. What should we do? What should we do, CB or whoever? Like, okay, let's relaunch again, but not call it a relaunch. Let's take a cue from our good old like tactic of not calling everything events but crossovers, and let's call this fresh start a line-wide overhaul. It's a relaunch. It is a relaunch. Several of your series are going back to number ones. What was the point of legacy numbering if you're going to put almost everything back to a number one? Also, it's not even a fresh start. Oh no, sorry. It's a fresh start for the writers. It's not a fresh start for everyone. Like, let's get all the writers that have been responsible for our most terrible series and give them different series. Let's give Mark Waid Doctor Strange. Let's give Ta-Nehisi Coates Captain America. Let's give Nick Thickstack Spencer Spider-Man. Let's give Dan Slott Iron Man and the Fantastic Four. Fresh start. This better be the last relaunch they ever do for a millennia. Because the thing is, the whole point, like the whole fundamental point of a relaunch is that you want to do things again. Like some stuff worked, some didn't. There were problems, so if we start again, we could fix it. The problem with Marvel is almost everything has problems, and their only tactic, instead of getting writers to fix it, or editors to fix it, or getting a new creative team, they decide, let's just restart everything with the same problems and a whole shit ton of new problems. And let's not fix anything about it. So yeah, that's just it. That's just a 20-minute-ish video of just the oversaturation Marvel. I know I could have put it in a better word, but oversaturation was the first word that came to my mind. So that's it. What do you think? What do you think about those points? Were I kind of spot on? This was just a quick video. I wanted to get done, get off my mind, and so I can edit and relax. But that's it for the video. Subscribe, please leave a like, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you all next time.